Alright, hello everyone. I'm sorry I ain't upload in like over a week. I had stuff going on. I know it's not always an excuse, but I try to record this whenever I can, so it's a bit of a pain in the butt. But here's the thing. I'm gonna try and record two right now, get both of them out in the same week, so it'll make up for it. In the long run, you'll get the same number of videos. And right now I'm not doing the camera stuff where I'm doing my face because quite honestly I look like crap right now. It's almost 11 p.m. on Friday night. I'm not camera ready, so instead I'm gonna just talk into the microphone, do a little voiceover. And today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about sharks. Now, some of you, if you follow me on social media, if you look at some of my stuff, you know I like sharks. It may seem like a weird thing where it's like it doesn't make sense, and to be honest, it kinda is. I just like sharks. I don't know exactly why, but it goes back since I was a little kid. I have always loved sharks. When I was like, I don't even know how old, like young, like 4, like 3, I used to have a bookshelf in my room, and I would never want to go to sleep. I would always just kind of like stay up. I wouldn't want to go to sleep. I would just be in my room, just doing whatever I possibly could. And I had a bookshelf, and there were a bunch of encyclopedias and stuff where it's just like biology encyclopedias. I don't know why my parents put those there or where they got them, but one of my favorite things to do is like I would have marine biology encyclopedias, and they would just have like different pictures of sharks, like different species, different types of sharks, different things about them. Like they would have like pictures of their teeth, and this was a long time ago. I'm not super young, I'm not old. I mean, 20 is kind of super young, but when we're talking like when I was like 3 years old, that was back like 2000, maybe even before then, honestly. Like I have no idea how young I was. Well, actually, it had to be at least 2000 because I remember this was in the second house I lived in, which I didn't move into until 2000. I was still very young, but I remember this bookshelf, and there were just like a bunch of encyclopedias, and like these encyclopedias were probably from like the 90s, maybe the early 2000s, probably not though, but it's like back then we didn't have the technology we have now, so a lot of the pictures were very grainy, not a lot of detail. It was just like rough pictures of sharks. Like if they could get a close up, they would look good. If they couldn't, it would just be like, oh, that's a shark. I can tell it's a shark. I can't really tell what's going on in the picture. Like I can't see the details, but that's a shark. One of the things I remember especially is I remember they had like the diagram where it had like all the different types of sharks, and they would like compare it to like a human body and have like that little diagram there. And I remember seeing the whale shark, and the whale shark was the biggest shark. It's the biggest shark in the world, the biggest shark that we know of that exists today. Point is, I remember I used to see like whale sharks in these books and just see how big they were, and just the concept of a shark that's like just that big and just has like a leopard print pattern. It was just like, dude, that has to be so cool. Like I want to see a whale shark in real life so bad, and that was like a dream of mine. And it's like the thing is I'm not someone who likes the ocean. I've been in the ocean, I think only really once in my life. I actually put on a bathing suit and went in the ocean. I'm not counting times where it's like, oh, I was on the beach and I took my shoes off and I went up to the edge of the beach and just kind of put my feet in. Like, no, like I only actually swam in the ocean one time, and it was in LA in 2016, and I did not enjoy it. It's kind of a thing where you need to know what you're doing, because the waves are completely different from swimming in lakes, because I live in Michigan, so I've swam in lakes my entire life. And in lakes, the water is pretty still. There aren't a whole lot of waves. If there are waves, they're very mellow. In the ocean, you have to watch and make sure that when the wave comes, you're ready to like jump up and like go with the wave, or you just gotta deal with the fact that the wave is gonna knock you over. And I got knocked over by waves like a good 2 or 3 times, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not a fan of this. This isn't fun to me. So I'll never really plan on like being a scuba diver or a free diver or anything like that, but I love sharks. I don't know, I love sharks, and the thing is I respect them, because like, I mean, maybe I'll go on a boat one day and go out and see the sharks, but a big thing that I want to push here is like, people are so afraid of sharks. Sharks are framed as man-eaters. They're portrayed by the media as like these dangerous things.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
In fact, there's that video of that guy who cuts things in half, and then like the infomercial guy cuts things in half, and they puts them back together with flex tape. And there's a video going around of him doing that with a boat and then going through shark-infested waters. And the thing was, those are nurse sharks. Nurse sharks are incredibly friendly towards humans. You could get in that water and swim, and those sharks would not harm you. I mean, there have been some instances of people getting bitten by nurse sharks, but there are also videos online of people just swimming in the water and nurse sharks just coming right up to them, rubbing right up against them, swarming them, not harming them at all. And that's the thing, is sharks are not all that harmful to humans. And there are scientific studies out there saying like, yo, the reason sharks attack people more often than not is mistaken identity. Sharks are not out there looking for humans to eat. The main reason, this is my personal belief, but the thing is, we're humans, we're meant to be on land, and when we go out in the ocean, we are invading an ecosystem where we do not belong. And yeah, if you enjoy going out and diving, I'm not judging you at all, but you have to understand you're going into an alien ecosystem where the living beings in that ecosystem do not know what you are. They don't know what to make of you. And most oftentimes, that's the deal with sharks. A lot of times, if you get in the water with a great white shark, it's not gonna come after you, trying to eat you. More likely than anything, it might bite you to figure out what it is you are, because in a great white shark's environment, there's nothing like a human. It's actually illegal in most places to swim in the water without a cage with great white sharks, and the reason is not because they are predators coming for humans, is because, like I said, they're curious. They don't know what you are. They're gonna come up, and they're like dogs where they explore the world around them with their mouths, and they're gonna come up to you and they're gonna bite you to figure out what you are, because that's how they explore. That's a great white shark. It has giant jaws. It has sharp teeth. It's huge, and just a minor bite from it could be life-threatening. So it's just not worth the risk of going in the water and possibly getting bit by a great white shark. And the thing is, there have been people who have swam with great white sharks and lived to tell a tale. There are people who studied the great white shark's behavior. They knew what it was going to do. They knew how to figure out the signs of if it was going to try and bite them, if it was going to do anything. And they knew how to conduct themselves in that environment.
The minute we get scared, we panic, and that's when everything just goes wrong. And when it comes to a big apex predator like a shark, that's the last thing you want to do.
The thing is great white sharks are huge, beautiful creatures, and they are very important to the ocean's ecosystem, and they're great. I love great white sharks, but the thing is they are the ones who get all the press. They get all the bad press, especially them, as well as tiger sharks and bull sharks, which, guess what? People free dive with both of those species all the time, and they do not get hurt. But the thing is there's so many sharks out there. There are basking sharks, there are sand tiger sharks, which, despite the fact that they look extremely freaky and scary, they do not attack humans at all. You got lemon sharks, you got nurse sharks, like I mentioned, you got reef sharks, you got blacktip reef sharks. For a long time, I didn't even think about sharks. For years and years of my life, I didn't even think about sharks. Like, I loved sharks when I was a kid. I loved the idea of them. I loved studying them. I loved looking at them. I loved looking at pictures of them. Beyond my childhood, I never really thought about sharks until one day, this was like a few years ago. Like, I had books full of all types of marine biology. I love sharks the most, but another type of marine animal that I really liked was barracudas. And I had never seen like what a barracuda actually looks like in the wild beyond just those 90s era photos, which were, like I said, not that great. Like, it only gave me a rough idea of what they actually look like in real life. Other than that, all I had to go off of was Finding Nemo. So I was just laying around one day, I was like, man, I wonder what they look like. And then I realized, bro, we live in the age of the internet. We have YouTube. I can literally just go on YouTube, type in barracudas, and get videos of barracudas in the wild, and that's exactly what I did, and it was incredible. The thing is I love the internet because we have this resource right here where we can see anything, we can experience anything through the internet, and sometimes we don't even think about how much we can experience. And something I love to experience through the internet is just marine biology, the ocean, because like I said, I don't like being in the ocean, but I love everything in the ocean. I love the vast unexploredness of the ocean, the fact that we know more about other planets than we know about our own ocean is crazy. It's just so much unknown. And those of us who aren't the type of people to go out on boats and explore the ocean and go down and dive and explore the ocean floor, we can experience it too. And that's the amazing thing about technology, is we can experience that. I can see a hammerhead shark. I can see a great white shark. I can see people feeding bull sharks, all types of sharks, and most of all, whale sharks in the wild. That was like a dream of mine. That was a little bit of me experiencing that dream. Just a little bit of me experiencing that dream from when I was a little kid, when I would look in those books and see the whale shark illustration with no photographs. There were no photographs in those books of whale sharks. I just saw the illustration. I was like, whoa, what is that? That's amazing. Here's what this is all leading up to. I remember last year at MomoCon. We were at MomoCon and we were saying, oh, we're gonna go to the aquarium. We're gonna go to the aquarium eventually. We're going to go to the aquarium we're going to go a night at the aquarium. And when we got there, it was close and we were like, oh, okay, whatever. I wasn't too concerned about it. And then in between last MomoCon and this past MomoCon, I actually came across a channel called Jonathan Bird's Blue World.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Bird, and welcome to my world.
He has all sorts of different, like, awesome videos of him swimming with sharks, all sorts of stuff. Not just sharks either, just different types of animals, and it's amazing. But he had one where he was actually diving in the Georgia Aquarium, and they have whale sharks. They have all sorts of sharks, but they have whale sharks in that aquarium, and they have giant manta ray too. It's crazy. After I saw that video, I was like, yo, next MomoCon, I have to go. And here's actually a funny story about this. I don't think the people I went with knew how serious I was when I was like, dog, we have to go to the aquarium. I was like, dude, we have to go to the aquarium. I am going to the aquarium. I do not care. I need to see the whale sharks. Not just the whale sharks, but all the different sharks they have there. Like, dude, I was kind of trying to like play it cool, but like this was a dream of mine. Like not like a huge dream like the goals I have in life, but it's like a little dream of mine where it's like, dude, before I die, I want to do this. And the thing is like most of the group bailed on me. The only person who actually went with me to the Georgia Aquarium was Rose's Universe, which she is the real one for that, and I appreciate the fact that she actually went with me, because everyone else bailed, and I was actually really upset about that, but I didn't really care, because that same day I got to see whale sharks. I got to achieve that dream, and I played it cool, but like on the inside, the kid in me was so happy. It was an achievement for me to go to the Georgia Aquarium and see whale sharks in real life. I know I'm saying all of this, I'm geeking out about all of this, and I'm just super passionate about something that a lot of people probably just think is dumb, and they're like, okay, cool, whatever, but like this is just, it was something that was so important to me. It's something that's still important to me, and honestly, I would love to go again. I would love to go next year and actually take all the people who bailed on me. I love sharks so much, and I cannot put into words how much I love sharks, and it's just, it's something that gets me really passionate. It's like pro wrestling for me. Like, I love pro wrestling, but the thing about pro wrestling is it has dips in quality. If I go to the aquarium and I see a shark, it doesn't matter. I saw a shark. And yo, like, before I wrap up this rambly video, I just want to like acknowledge something real quick. I don't know how many of y'all have experienced this. I'm sure some of you have, but have you ever just gone to a beach at night and just looked out at the ocean? Like, not a lake. Because, like, being on a lake is different. But, like, if you're, like, on the coast somewhere, and you're just on a beach, and you look out at the ocean, and you just see the waves crashing on the beach, and you look out at the moon over the never-ending horizon, and you just stare at it, it's an experience. It's scary. It's really scary. Like, it's just, you feel so small. You feel so insignificant in that moment. You just look and you think about the fact that there is not another massive land for an unimaginable stretch of distance, but there is land on the other side. Like, there is land if you go far enough, but it's just, like, it's so far and just an unimaginable amount of distance. But, yeah, no. Now I've put that image in your guys' head, I'm gonna say thank you guys so much for listening to my rambling about sharks, a thing that really only I am passionate about. I mean, that's not true, but not a lot of people are passionate about it. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.